Rope Breakers, it is so good to be back here on React After Raw, live on Rope Break Wrestling's YouTube channel. We missed last week. I wasn't feeling too great. I'm blaming Vince. But we're back now.
Son
We
of a
had to
bitch.
wait on YouTube. They were doing some maintenance, but we decided, you know what, the show must go on anyway. So it is midnight here on the East Coast, wherever you're watching from. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. If you're a new viewer, thank you for tuning in as well. Pretty interesting Raw tonight. It was a so-so Raw. We're gonna, talk about the big topics here. We're only gonna be here for about 45 minutes. Usually go for an hour, hour and 15, but we do want to get you guys out of here as quick as possible. We know it's late, so we're gonna jump right into it right now. But first, let me introduce the panel to you tonight. Matt Donato, always here on the panel. What's going on, brother?
Alec, I am excited to be on React, excited to be back. Uh, yeah, let's just jump right into this bad boys.
Yeah, exactly. Let's jump right into this bad boy here. Monday Night Raw. Brock Lesnar returns. Chris Jericho's the host. So much happened, and some bad stuff happened too. But Raw kicks off with Chris Jericho coming out. Gets a huge pop in Detroit. That's the one thing I loved about tonight. Is Detroit was such a good crowd tonight. Like the past couple weeks on Raw, the crowd's been really, really weak. So this Raw really needed a good crowd, and Detroit really gave it that. And Jericho comes out. He's trying to lobby to get his slammy back from Fandango, the what do you call him? The waltzing weirdo, the hurdy-gurdy, the Fondumbass, the Fondumbat, the Fondingo, Fondunghole. So many Jericho names in there. And eventually Paul Heyman does come out, and he lobbies that, wouldn't you want Paul Heyman in charge of Raw? Now, when I hear that question, I don't know about anybody else, but my immediate answer is yes, I do want Paul Heyman in charge of Raw. He needs to be in charge of Raw instead of whatever jabronis are running it right now. And, he talks about how Jericho won the Extreme Moment of the Year and got a big pop, the ECW pop, which was really nice because, the crowds don't really do that anymore. Heyman doesn't really do that anymore as well. And, the two have a lot of good chemistry in the ring. I like how Jericho was like, oh, you owe me $200, Paul. You put out the best Jericho DVD without my permission, you owe me $200. I thought that was a really nice touch. And then, Heyman said, I have my own motivation for being out here tonight. And, with your permission, I do want to talk to Seth Rollins later. And Seth Rollins doesn't wait till later. He comes out right there and then gets in the ring. And this is what I love. He just gets right in Heyman's face. And I thought that was a nice touch to his heel character. And, it was nice to see Rollins really get out there and cut a decent promo. A big "You Sold Out" chant from the crowd, which again I liked. Unfortunately, that turned the tide later in the main event. But Rollins was talking about how he lost the match on Sunday at TLC. He was cost the match. It wasn't fair. And he wants a rematch with John Cena, but only when he is ready. And then, of course, Super Cena comes out himself. Just does a little. Oh, I'm gonna go get serious in the ring, and he tells Seth Rollins, he says, well, you're not a man. You don't have testicles in your pants because you're out here whining and complaining, blah blah blah. Typical Cena promo. Goes after Heyman about wanting to take on Lesnar, and then he says, I'm feeling like a rematch tonight too, and then Jericho books them in the steel cage, and then subsequently books himself in a match with Paul Heyman, decided on by the fans on the WWE app, which is for some reason getting a push again. I don't know why. The network needs to be pushed, not the app. There's 15 million downloads on the app. There's only 700,000 some odd subscribers on the network. Do the numbers here, guys. But Matt, I want to turn it over to you and kind of get your thoughts on that opening promo. It was very long. It was about 25 minutes.
Well, first and foremost, I want to let you know that, I think you need to change your mic because the mic that's on your headphones is like scratching up against your shirt and making a lot of noise.
God damn it. I'll try to stay still.
Try to put like tape around the thing. Yeah, it's just making like a noise against your shirt every time you try to talk.
God damn it! All right.
Just wanted to let you know. If you want to try to figure that out, and I'll throw my 2 cents in about uh, the opening segment. I liked the opening segment. I felt like it was definitely long. 25 minutes is one hell of a long opening segment for sure. But I thought it was worth it. Obviously having Jericho out there really adds to to the quality of honestly, whatever segment he's in is going to add the quality, but it added quality to the opening segment. Then, of course, Heyman, just another addition to the quality of it. Then you got Rollins adding more. I thought it was great work by Rollins, really impressed. And I do want to note, I think towards the end of his promo when he was talking about the popcorn guy and the janitor and things like that, I think he actually forgot I think he kind of drew a blank. I think he wasn't exactly sure what he wanted to say. Almost reminiscent of, almost reminiscent of Roman Reigns at TLC, but he recovered a hell of a lot better, which shows me he's more in line for a push for the title than Roman Reigns is. I think he recovered way better. Was very impressed with the energy he put into his promos. Every week they seemed to get better and better and better. And Jericho really did a great job complimenting him. Now, I don't mean like patting him on the back. I meant really they worked well together.
Right.
I really liked the way Heyman, just everything Heyman does is awesome. Yes, I'm skipping over Cena's promo because it wasn't anything special to me. He says balls in his promo, and that's supposed to make everybody love him. Oh, he's really got some attitude. He said balls. Like, all right, relax, Cena. I just felt like it was a stereotypical John Cena promo, nothing too special for me anyway. So I'm kind of just blowing over that. The main key players in this were obviously Rollins, Jericho, and Heyman. I thought the segment was done really well. I thought it did a great job at building the rest of the night, especially the main event, obviously. And I thought all three did a great job at working well together. And I'm very interested to see what is going to become of Heyman and Rollins, because obviously there's something being built there. But for an opening segment, it was long, but I think it did its job, and I think it really, I was impressed that it was able to keep my attention for that 25 minutes. So I thought it was a really solid opening segment.
I definitely agree. Definitely did keep my attention as well, because we're used to those, 20-minute opening promos from the Authority, and some of them just, they just went on and on and on. They never really came to a point, so this one did a good job of really keeping you interested in setting the tone. And Austin Brand's weighing in here on the YouTube comment saying, Cena likes some testicles. Yeah, he does. He always seems to mention testicles in a promo at least once a month. So I don't know what the deal is. Cena's obsession with testicles. But we're going to move on there, quickly touch on the tag match that followed up that. I mean, what was the point? I don't get it. I thought, after last night's TLC, we would have seen Dolph Ziggler maybe, move on to a new feud after, winning the IC title belt in such a dramatic fashion. And then the crowd was, clearly hot for him tonight. I was disappointed that they decided to just throw these four guys in a tag match for no reason. I don't know why they do this. It just annoys me. I would have rather seen Ziggler move on to someone else for that title. Just see all the guys move on. They're still trying to keep this, Team Cena, Team Authority storyline alive somewhere within the card, and it's time to end it. Just move on. Write some new stuff. I mean, am I wrong here?
No, not at all. Not at all. I completely, I agree with you with what you said. They're definitely trying to keep this alive. It's one of those, they don't know right now what to do with Ziggler, so they're going to try to fill as much time as they can until they can figure it out. And, they're trying to find as many clever ways as they can to keep this alive. So let's put all four of these guys in a tag match. It's just very lazy writing to me. When we don't know what to do with somebody, let's just throw them all together in one match, and it never works out. It's always shitty every single time. We're constantly used to seeing these 8-man tag matches, and it's just like And that's another thing. That's another laziness. It's we don't know what to do with these guys. Let's just throw them all together. They're all supposed to be pushed, so let's just throw them all into one match because we have no idea what the hell we're doing. This match was no different. Wasn't interested in any second of it. I kind of feel bad for Ziggler because I think it kind of hurts his push. I think he really definitely needs to start being pushed as a main contender. I just don't see this helping him at all. I don't really want to see Luke Harper versus Ziggler for the third time. I don't think it's necessary. I think it's just going to that's going to ultimately really ruin Ziggler's push. They need to put him up against somebody who's more of a viable threat, somebody who's been there and has been built properly. Maybe even have him up against like Ryback. I think that could be
Well, let me pose this scenario to you. Wade Barrett posted a photo today, I believe, whether it was on his Twitter or his Instagram account. He was at the Performance Center today, getting back in the ring for the first time in 6 months. And he said in interviews before that his return date is sometime this month. So, do you think we see Wade Barrett return either next week or the last Raw of the year, and challenge Ziggler to get the IC title back?
I think that they're going to save that for the last Raw of the year. I think they really want to push this. I think they want to make this the biggest Raw of the year. Unfortunately, in their minds, and this is the reason that the main roster is at a huge downfall right now. In their minds, to make Monday Night Raw the best it can be, we need to have the biggest segments possible. Instead of thinking, let's have the best quality wrestling possible. Look at NXT. Why were the fans tonight at Raw chanting NXT during all of these matches? Because fans loved what they watched. It was quality entertainment. Instead of the only way they can get people to tune into their shows nowadays is to have, Edge and Christian return, to have, all these big return moments. It's like that's great. But at the end of the day, that's what my big issue with WrestleMania 30 was. I thought it was a great pay-per-view, but I thought it was kind of overhyped because of all those big moments. I like wrestling. I like watching quality wrestling. And, Raw hasn't been delivering that in a very long time. So I think that in their minds, this is what's going to put Raw over. Let's have Wade Barrett return, or Bad News Barrett, return the last Raw so that we can really make it the biggest Raw of 2014. Instead of booking quality matches, let's just do that, which is ridiculous to me. But I feel like that's where they're going to put them. As for a rivalry, that's definitely where they're headed. I just don't think a victory over Luke Harper right now is enough to really make me excited for this feud. Other than the only thing making me excited is the fact that they've had matches before that were excellent.
Right.
That's the only thing. But storyline-wise, there's nothing there for me that gets me to say we need to see this match. I think putting him up, making Ziggler look like a tougher opponent, would really make me more interested. Have him go against a Ryback on the show. I really don't care if Ryback. It's not, to me, that's not a burial. You're putting over the better superstar at this point. Ziggler is more capable of holding that title and staying in that spotlight than Ryback is. So utilize Ryback by helping him put over Ziggler as the champion, make Ziggler look strong, and then put him up against Bad News Barrett, and then this could be one of the best rivalries of the new year.
Right, I absolutely agree with what you're saying. Austin Brand's weighing in here. Austin, you're always watching, man, so thank you for tuning in as always. Saying they definitely need new writing, but they want to keep it in the back of your mind so they know everyone knows Cena still has the control, and somehow either Cena will go heel or someone is going to challenge him for the power of the authority. Wink, wink, Randy Orton. I don't know, just an idea. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I don't know how challenging for the power of the authority could work. I mean, it'd be kind of a lame match, like, if Cena loses, the power to bring the authority back is turned over to Randy Orton. I don't know why Randy Orton would want the power to bring the authority back, because they assaulted him and threw him out. So I do understand where you're going with it, but I think, something's going to happen down the line. It's going to cause John Cena to get desperate to bring the authority back. But we'll see that maybe within the coming weeks, the coming months, who knows. And quickly also want to touch on that New Day backstage segment where they all kind of cut promos. Matt, you're the resident promo critic guy here, so did you like it? If you didn't, what didn't you like about it?
Well, I'm going to be completely honest with you here. I completely missed their promo, so I don't know that. I
Well,
can sit here and I can definitely bullshit and say, I can make up shit about it, but I don't think that'll go over well. But I definitely missed the promo, so I can't really talk about it.
well, you missed the promo. That's all right. It wasn't really anything special. They're trying to play into their weird characters. Like Xavier Woods is kind of that motivational speaker, in the vein of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, and then Kofi Kingston's supposed to be the rapper because he dropped a small, freestyle in the promo, and then Big E does that annoying, you know, black church pastor voice, and it's nothing against those guys, but it's a really the gimmick's just getting hard to sell. I don't know. I'm not really feeling the New Day, and it was obvious later on in the night that the crowd wasn't. We are going to skip over that Divas match. We're not going to talk about it because it was just a Divas tag match, and those things never really work out. After that, Chris Jericho's highlight reel. Uh, it's always nice to have the highlight reel. I don't know what the hell I'm saying tonight. It's late, but it was decent. I liked Jericho's comments towards Lana and Rusev, saying Rusev, maybe you're gonna show Lana your Sputnik. I thought that was a nice touch, and calling him the U.S. champ and the communist, and you know, and then Ryback comes out, and now it appears he is the challenger for the U.S. title. I correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there may have been a rumor a couple weeks ago that Ryback was actually going to be challenging Rusev and could be the one to finally defeat Rusev. Uh, I don't know if I'm right on that, and I may have seen it quickly. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. There may have been a rumor. I think you may have mentioned it to me. I really don't know. But, what are your thoughts on Ryback stepping up to challenge, Rusev? Do you think he should really end Rusev's, monster undefeated streak right now?
Honestly, no, not even a little bit. I don't think that Ryback is the guy to do it, mainly because he's not entertaining enough. He's not being booked properly enough. There's no build on Ryback. He beat up Kane with chairs. There's nothing that makes me say this guy's impressive, and I think it'd be a waste, huge waste, if Ryback were to be the one to beat Rusev. I think the rumor, I don't know if this is the rumor you're thinking of, but there is a rumor that Roman Reigns is supposed to be the guy to beat Rusev. I think what they're going to do is I think Rusev's going to beat Ryback. I think Rusev should beat Ryback. I think that would actually make Rusev look tough. Just beating Swagger 30 times the same exact way doesn't make him look, and especially when Swagger has zero build to him, that doesn't make him look tough. So having him beat somebody like Ryback, I mean, Ryback hasn't had the greatest build, but he has that look where it's like Ryback is a tough guy. So having Rusev beat him, I think, would be good for Rusev's build. And then having Roman Reigns, I think they're going to have a feud between I could be wrong, but Roman Reigns and Big Show somewhere down the line.
Oh.
I don't know. I kind of feel like that's coming. That is not anywhere near pay-per-view quality feud at all. It's barely a SmackDown quality feud. I am thankful though that Big Show kind of stepped in when he did. As soon as he picked up the microphone, my heart dropped, and I'm like, oh god. I got like scared. I got like started shivering, cold sweats. I got wickedly nervous, and then Big Show interrupted him. So I'm like, oh, thank God. I think that feud is happening though between him and Big Show. If they keep it on Raw and not bring it to a pay-per-view, which they will. If they're going to do this feud, they'll bring it to a pay-per-view. But, which actually, no, that won't even work because the next one is Rumble.
Well, there's still the pay-per-view formerly known as Elimination Chamber.
That's after Rumble, though.
Yeah, but they still could do it there. You never know.
Well, yeah, that's true. Well, I don't know. Well, the rumors are that Roman's going to win, but the time frame that now that he's back, I really think that they should have had him return at the Rumble. I think that would have been way more impressive.
Oh,
But
I agree.
um, the rumors that he's going to win the title, I don't know if that'll make sense going into Mania.
No, I don't
Because
think they'll do that now. I don't think it's
I don't think
it
there's
doesn't
time for him
work.
to do that. There's no time for him to win it and then have to figure out how he can drop it without looking weak within the time frame, and then build up a storyline going into Mania for the title. So I don't think that's going to happen. So we could see now that we bring that up. I guess Ryback could be the guy to do it. I just hope that's not the case. Shit, that would be terrible. I just don't
Well,
think Ryback.
let me pose this question to you. There was a rumor, I think last month, or in sometime in October, that WWE might be planning John Cena versus Rusev at WrestleMania 31. We know how John Cena's matches go at WrestleMania. Once the person loses, they lose all their momentum. Happened to Bray Wyatt this year, and he's struggling to get back. That's why he got the win at TLC, because the rumor is that he's supposed to face Undertaker at WrestleMania 31 if Undertaker says, I'm ready to work the event. So they felt like Bray Wyatt needed to win in order to start building towards that match if it's going to happen. So, my question to you is, would you rather see someone beat Rusev, now, whether it's at Royal Rumble or at, the god awful Fastlane, or have him face John Cena at WrestleMania and just kill all his momentum?
Question. I honestly wouldn't mind Cena being U.S. champion. I know that's weird for me to say. I think him being champion could bring credibility back to the title. Um, I would like to see him step into that. I think it would elevate it into more of a main event status. I would like to see him do that with the IC title, honestly, more than the U.S. But um, I don't know. I think Rusev. I have a feeling Rusev's going to drop the title, and then all Cena. I don't know. I'm just afraid that they're gonna, because they don't want him to have the title going. I don't know. It's a tough decision. I really don't want him losing it to Ryback. I think I think honestly I'd rather have him lose at Mania, because at least it's WrestleMania.
Right.
And it's not like to Ryback at a lesser pay-per-view, and it is to John Cena. Um, so I think I'd rather have that happen. But like you said, it's notorious every time somebody loses to Cena, their momentum just completely drops. Um, so I'd be worried about that. Hopefully they don't drop the ball. Anytime somebody loses a title too, that's
Right.
dangerous territory. Because losing at Mania to Cena and dropping your title, they tend to forget about that guy. They tend to just move on to the next thing really quickly and forget that that other who they forget whoever had the title for. I don't know. I think I'd rather Sasha Cena at Mania as long as it's constructed properly. I think it could. If Rusev comes out still looking,
Man, you are really skipping around here.
am I?
Yeah, your camera's skipping right now.
Oh
I don't
shit!
know.
Is my audio good though?
They were both skipping for a while. You seem to be fine now. But yeah, we'll
Son
see.
of a bitch!
We'll see
It
what
didn't
happens
matter anyway. It didn't
with
matter.
your camera. But I do want to pose
Didn't
the
even
same
matter.
question to you, Roper. Would you rather see Rusev, drop the title within the next few months, or see him, go to WrestleMania and lose to John Cena? So head over to the comment section. Let me know what you think. And Austin Brands continuing to weigh in here, saying Elimination Chamber isn't there anymore. They got rid of it for Fastlane. I think yes, I know that's why I said the pay-per-view formerly known uh, as Elimination Chamber. Uh, After that, the New Day versus the Dust Brothers. Just quickly want to mention two things here. The NXT chants during this match, arena wide, everyone was chanting NXT during this match. And then they were booing during this match, booing the face. They're booing Xavier Woods. And they were, I believe they were also booing Stardust, whoever the hell he was in the ring with. That's not good. That's not a good sign for the New Day. Trying to get this gimmick over, and when you go to a big city and they're getting booed and the crowd is chanting NXT and CM Punk, it's not looking good for the New Day so far. So hopefully we do see some turnaround there. And one of the highlights of the night followed that match which was the fucking bunny got tombstoned. I was so ecstatic when that happened. That stupid little furry piece of crap got tombstone by Kane. It's the best thing that Kane's done in months. Was tombstoning that bunny. I hope we never see the bunny again after that. I know we will, but I don't care. I'm sick of the bunny. I'm glad Kane did it, Matt. I'm pretty sure you're glad Kane took the bunny out as well.
Oh yeah, I was excited. I was like, oh, thank God. But to answer your question, you hope we never see the bunny again. To just add to that, we probably will. Knowing the WWE and Vince, he's probably writing up an idea for fucking like Kane versus the bunny at WrestleMania 31.
Stop. Just don't even go any further. Don't fantasy book that.
I'm not. Believe me, that is not a fantasy booking whatsoever.
Don't even
that
go
is
there.
Vince McMahon ruining pro wrestling for everyone.
Oh, definitely. All right. After that match, we have Y2J versus Paul Heyman in a street fight, which never came to be. Of course, Paul Heyman does his usual coward promo. I don't know why. I don't know why you picked a fight with Brock Lesnar. It was awesome. I was ecstatic when I heard it, and then Brock Lesnar comes out from the curtain, and there's no title. And that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. This guy has been gone. I believe it's 3 months to the date. I believe Night of Champions was September 15th, and he returned at the December 15th Raw. Night of Champions was the 14th, so a month and a day after we last saw him, and he shows up without the title. A lot of people were pissed. They were annoyed. They were calling him out. Fuck this guy. Shows up after 3 months without the title. Piece of shit. I mean, it was all over Twitter. We had some rope breakers weighing on Facebook about it. Matt, I know you mentioned you were annoyed about it. I told you I was bothered by it. It didn't really look good when he first came out without that title. Quickly taking out Y2J. So, obviously, we do know later in the night that he does bring the title up back then. I'm pretty sure someone chewed his ass out for it. So, Matt, I do want to ask you about your initial reaction during Brock Lesnar's return and him not showing up with the title.
Initially, it really bothered me, and I'm still kind of annoyed by it, but at the same time, I kind of liked it. I know that sounds weird, and people are going to be like, what? And I liked it only for the reason that all of the heat that he's getting just for not having that title is really playing really well into his heel character. People, like you said, fuck this guy sucks. People who liked Lesnar before are now really pissed off at him. So I think in that sense, it really did help to get his heel character over. Was it intentional? I don't think it was intentional. I think Brock was probably eating a sandwich somewhere and just left the title in catering, and then came out and was like, "Oh fuck, where's my title? Oh well," and then did his firework pyro shit, and then went out without it. And then I think I really it was weird that then after he would come out with the title. I do think somebody did yell at him back. Well, I don't know if anybody's going to yell at him, but I think Vince was like, "Oh, I think you should bring the title out." No, that wasn't Vince. Vince would be like, "I think you should go out with the bunny. I think the bunny should be your new bodyguard." Fucking Vince and his stupid decisions. Just retire already. God damn it, you're ruining wrestling, you bastard. No, I do think somebody backstage told him you need to bring the title out. Because, yeah, definitely didn't like that he didn't come out with it. He needs to promote, especially because he hasn't been there for 30 months and a day. But in the same, like I said, in the same respect, I like that. I hated it because I think it needs to be promoted, but then I liked it because it really put over his heel status. So I'm kind of torn about it. I'm kind of half and half with it right now.
Right, yeah, I definitely understand when you're coming from. It does give him a ton of heat, within the IWC and the fans. Some of the fans at the arena, a ton of heat now this guy's got because he didn't show up with it initially, even though he did bring it out later in the night. But it was a good way to bring him back. So he's back, and we'll see what happens with Lesnar in the coming weeks. After that, there was a uh, awful, 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 awful Fandango promo. I can't say awful enough. I just want to drop kick this guy until his chest cavity collapses. But he's quickly cut off by Roman Reigns' return to Monday Night Raw. He returned to WWE last night at the TLC pay-per-view, and Roman Reigns goes to cut a promo and is quickly cut off by the Big Show. And the Big Show does come down and says, pretty boy, you can do whatever the fuck he said. I wasn't paying attention to the fucking Big Show. That's how much I care about Big Show and the storyline that he's in. No one cares anymore. Nobody cares about Big Show anymore. He's just a fucking obstacle. Just throw the guy down and train some people in NXT. Or put him backstage. I don't care. Get him off my fucking TV, please. Sick of Big Show. And then, Reigns says, hey, Big Show, if you come down here, I'm going to punch you right in the mouth. Oh, I'd like to see you try that, pretty boy. What the fuck is this? What are we watching here, pretty boy? Okay, whatever. And he does go down there, and he does get hit in the mouth, and Big Show no sells it. He's just like, whatever. Yeah, I was so confused. Like, what are they? I mean, are they really going to give us, Big Show versus Reigns? I really don't want it. Reigns did come out to a decent pop. The crowd was chanting for him, but I don't want Reigns versus Big Show. I just don't want it. There's only a few select people who can have a good match with Big Show, and I don't think Reigns is going to be one of them. I just don't. I could be wrong. People might give me heat for it. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. I'm pretty sure you don't want to see it. I'm pretty sure Aussie doesn't want to see it. I don't want to see this. Why is it even? Oh, I'm so mad. So mad. I'm so disappointed.
Wow, yeah, no, I'm with you on that, dude. It's not. I don't want to see it either, and I don't give a shit if I get heat for that. It's gonna be a boring match. Big Slow's gonna look like a slob. And yeah, I think he called him pretty boy like 4 times. It was kind of it made me a little uncomfortable. I'm like, dude, like we get it, pretty boy. Like, all right, we got it. We got it the first time he said it. You didn't need to keep repeating it. Yeah, he did come out to a pretty big pop. I was pretty impressed with that. I don't know. I feel like I know he's excited in the ring, but I feel like his mannerisms, ooh ah, is like way over the top now. Like his facial, like he's getting too hyped up. I think he needs to tone it down a little bit. Yeah, then Big Show no sells that Superman punch. Shit, the fucking stairs sold the beating better than Big Show did.
I like the status you put up on our Facebook that Big Show's trying to start another stairs match. I thought that was great.
He was. He gets punched in the mouth, and instead of getting in the ring, if you get punched in the mouth, are you going to go and punch a set of stairs? That makes no sense. Let me just go beat up the stairs. They won't hit me back. Like, come on. That's ridiculous. It just made that whole segment was just dumb. And the only reason I could think they did it was because they're building towards a rivalry between the two, which is going to suck. And I'm going to cry myself to sleep after it happens.
And then, of course, the running joke about this feud is going to be that they're doing this to make Roman Reigns look really strong. That's the new joke for the IWC now. Is all over our Facebook. Every wrestling-related page is going to have it in some sort. They're going to make Reigns look really strong in this feud with Big Show. You know what? The joke's getting played out already. I don't care. I'll say it. I don't give a shit. It's played out. Like, it was funny the first couple times. Like, oh, we got to make Reigns look really strong. All right, move on, guys. I don't care if I get heat for it. Just move on. It was funny the first time. It's not funny anymore.
I agree.
Question for
agree.
you. Miz and Mizdow versus the Usos, Naomi storyline. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you want it to end? Mizdow's kind of become the he's basically overshadowing this whole thing with what he does out in the ring and ringside. But, do you want to see this story end? What do you want to have happen here? I mean, I do know you want Mizdow to turn on the Miz, but besides that, what do you want to see come out of this?
Well, first and foremost, I think that what I want to see happen is for them to actually make this decent. I think that the concept is good. I think the idea to build this rivalry is good, but I think the delivery has just been horrible. I'm not liking any bit of it. I'm really starting to get, tired of waiting for the Miz to get, at this point, the Miz. I think during that segment, I was waiting for the Miz when he's talking to Naomi backstage after they lose. I was kind of waiting while Mizdow was doing his mannerisms. I was kind of waiting for the Miz to turn around and tell him to stop. Will you knock it off or something like that? But it didn't happen. I'm waiting for that pivotal moment. I think it's getting to that point where it's starting to get boring to the fans. If they, like I said last night on TLC React, if they don't do this soon, it's going to get to a point where Mizdow is going to start losing his momentum, and then turning him solo is not going to be as effective. They have a tendency of doing this, and it frustrates the hell out of me. I mean, when something is hot, they want to try to sell it out as much as possible. It's all a money thing. They can sell merchandise. They're probably selling the hell out of those freaking toy replica titles. They'll probably start selling replica Slammies now.
I think they already do.
Oh yeah, probably. It's nonsense. I mean, they're just trying to sell everything they can, and then they ruin the storylines because they're just trying to make money. It's like it makes no sense to me, because if they would realize that if you just put on quality matches, you'd be making 10 times the money you're making now.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like I don't understand. I don't understand how a business mind like Vince McMahon doesn't recognize that.
Well, let me point this out to you. You said they put on good quality matches, they'll make money. All right. So the NXT merchandise, the T-shirts used to be $20. I believe today they bumped those prices up to $25 because of the success of NXT Takeover Our Evolution. So it goes to show you, like, this is what's going to happen. Here's your success. You had a huge special event that happened on your network, and now you bump the price up because you know that merchandise is going to sell. And I believe at one point, Finn Balor's new T-shirt, which is awesome, by the way, you should go buy it. Matt wants to buy 100. It was
Yep.
a bestseller at one point during the day. So
it's
to show you, if you put out a good product, your merchandise will sell. You will make money. Ticket sales will increase. Network subscription will increase. You'll just make more money.
Yep. I'm honestly with you. I don't have a subscription to the WWE Network anymore. I used to, and I'm really considering just getting another one simply for NXT. I used to watch it. The only thing that's keeping me from doing it is the fact that NXT is the taping is so weird. It kind of messes me up. Like the storylines, it's very, they don't have, because the shows are only an hour long. Every week it's a different storyline, so you don't get the continuation of the storylines that bleed into the next week, which is weird to me, and I don't like that. I want to see what happened to so-and-so. I don't want to wait 2 weeks. I'm not willing to wait 2 weeks, so until they fix that, that might be the only thing keeping me, other than obviously the quality matches. But I think they should make it a 2-hour show. Quite honestly, I think they should make it a 2-hour show. I think that would be best for business. I would watch every week, and they need to start taping every week too. I think it's at the point now where it's a very important show to do that with because it's really your biggest seller right now.
Well, I believe at one point they were talking about doing bi-weekly tapings. They do tapings on the first Thursday of the month and the third Thursday of the month, or Friday, whichever day they decide to tape. Um, that might work out better for the storylines. I don't know. I do understand where you're coming from though, because one week we'll get the start of one storyline, and then next week they'll kind of touch on it, but nothing will really happen, and then the following week they'll pick back up on that. It's tough because they do all four shows. They do 1 month of tapings during one sitting. So obviously the crowd kind of gets tired. After sitting through 4 hours of wrestling, or however long it takes them to tape it, 4 or 5 hours. I don't know. Uh, it'd be nice to go to an NXT live taping someday. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe a special event. But yeah, I do agree with you. Something needs to happen with NXT. It'd be cool to see it taped every week and then come out every week so it's fresh. Maybe even give us a couple live NXTs. I think that would be pretty cool too because they have the capability. Just choose like a taping, once a month. Kind of like your big taping, and then just make it live. I think that'd be pretty cool. Who knows? But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But I do agree. The WWE Network does need a lot more stuff to go with it, some more original content. I mean, I think that's the biggest complaint about it, really. There's not enough original content. Like, yeah, sure, you have thousands of hours of old pay-per-views, but how many old pay-per-views are you going to watch before you're like, all right, I need to watch something new? So, WWE, add some more original content, some more cool stuff for us to watch, and you'll get more people to tune in. It's plain and simple. And that brings us to our main event of Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins versus John Cena in a steel cage match. And wow, what a match. People, they do tend to criticize John Cena, but give him a chance, he can put on a good match, and tonight was no different. He and Seth Rollins had a great match. I was entertained the entire time. It slowly built up to the climax, which I really liked. Because, a lot of times, Matt, you pointed out a lot that some of these guys just go too fast. They don't tell a story in the ring, and it just doesn't develop well. And they told a story in the ring tonight. It really built to something. I think my favorite spot in that match was when Cena had Rollins on his shoulder over in the corner, and Rollins managed to duck down, kind of do like a flip around Cena, and then get Cena on his shoulders and throw him with a powerbomb into the other corner. I thought that was really cool, really innovative, stuff from Seth Rollins. I mean, the guy has been on fire lately, and tonight was no different. One thing I do want to point out, there was that bad camera angle. I don't know if you caught it during the "You Can't See Me," the five-knuckle shuffle. Whoever called for him to switch the camera switched it too early, and you could see that Cena's hand didn't hit the head. And, it was like this far away. It was kind of a bad camera angle. But other than that, I really did love this match. A lot of the false finishes. That AA off the top rope was huge. That was a really nice touch. And then, of course, Brock Lesnar shows up, this time with the title. He has the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in hand. He shows up, gets in there, takes out John Cena, hits him with those 3 German suplexes, and they always look brutal. I don't know. You can hit them, 20 times, 40 times in a row, and they just look sickening. And then, of course, he hits him with the F5, and then that leaves you to think, what's going to happen to Rollins here, because Rollins is kind of just, playing possum at this point, just waiting to see what happens. And then he gets up and shakes hands with Paul Heyman, and the commentating team doesn't really react that well to it. If it was JR, I'd been like, that son of a bitch! That son of a bitch! He sold out. He went with Paul Heyman. Cost Cena the damn match. And it was great. It was great. I loved it. It was perfect. It just goes to show how good of a heel Seth Rollins can really be. And then, of course, Seth Rollins picks up the victory, walks out of the cage. And someone on our Facebook, questioned, no pin. Well, no, why would you want Seth Rollins to pin John Cena, especially going into Royal Rumble facing Brock Lesnar? If he were to pin John Cena, that would have made Cena look weak going into that match, and we know Vince doesn't want that. So Rollins reluctantly walked out of the cage and won the match. I thought this match was great. It definitely saved the show because the show wasn't that great. It was kind of, going this way towards the end, and that match definitely saved it, and definitely has me excited to see what happens next week. So, Matt, I'm going to turn the floor over to you. We are now into overtime here on React. Matt, I do want to get your thoughts on this match.
I definitely 100% on board with what you said. Definitely match saved the show. Both guys did a hell of a job. I am freaking impressed with Seth Rollins. I can't even express it. Like, I know we were talking about this earlier, and I'm a huge Ambrose fan, and I think one of our writers, Mitch, said it. He, even though Ambrose is his favorite guy in the roster, he's starting to like Seth Rollins more, and I'm completely on board with that. I feel the same exact way. I'm a huge Ambrose mark. He was my favorite guy, but the more and more I watch Seth Rollins, the more and more I'm starting to feel like he's my favorite guy on the roster right now. I mean, he can do it all. He can get in that ring, and he can wrestle. He can tell a story. He has chemistry with almost everybody he wrestles with. He can get on the mic. He can capture emotion. This is the guy you want to be the face of your company, period. You need to push this guy.
Let me pose this question to you. Why are they putting the push on Roman Reigns when it's clear that Seth Rollins is the guy? I know he's got the briefcase, but I don't give a shit if he's got the briefcase. This guy should be your face. This is the guy you should be pushing. This is the guy who should be facing Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 31, not Roman Reigns.
Well, the reason they're pushing Roman Reigns is because he's big. That is as simple as it gets. That's the only explanation. He's big, he's muscular, has a similar build to John Cena, and that's what Vince likes. And Vince can say it all he wants, but I think we all know that that's the case. Look at all the guys that Vince backs. Look at Ryback. Are you kidding me? Look at Triple H. All these guys are guys that Vince is back to. Look at John Cena. They all have the same build. They're all huge, muscular guys. Only difference is a guy like Triple H is actually good.
Right.
But Seth Rollins should be the guy getting that huge push right now. He's way more prepared for it than Roman Reigns is, and this match just adds more to that pot. He's just first of all, I gotta ask something. The hell was JBL? Was he calling him a hothead? He was calling like everybody was it hot, or was he calling them potheads? I don't know what the hell he was saying.
He called him a hothead.
Okay, because I'm like, that's not PG, JBL. What the hell are you talking about? And I was like, RVD's not in this match.
Jack Swagger's not here.
Jack Swagger's not here. Remember he got knocked out by Rusev again. And somebody made a comment on our Facebook page: is Mark Henry still knocked out?
Yeah, I saw it.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember who posted that, but that was good. But yeah, I just thought all in all, both guys did a great job. One gripe against this match, one thing that I hated was Cena's STF. I fucking hate that.
Oh yeah,
the stupid.
Stone Cold hates it too.
Oh my God, he doesn't clinch it in. He doesn't make it look real. There's so much gap in between his hands, and the faces he makes doesn't even relate to what's going on. Like it's like the weirdest facial expressions I've ever seen.
Right. Stone Cold said the same thing. There's an episode of the Stone Cold Show with Johnson, and they're talking about the STF, and he's like, "Well, son, need to lock that son bitch up, get in there, make it nice and tight." And I do agree. It needs to it doesn't look good. It's like right here on the fucking chin. It's not doing anything for you.
Yep, I agree. It just looked terrible. And then they kind of had that moment where he was like choked on the ropes, but that was weird to me too because it was like Seth Rollins wasn't putting any effort into it. It literally looked like Cena was choking himself on the rope, and making the same weird faces that he was making when he had the STF. It was just odd. And then I thought it was a major screw up that he rolled after doing that, after choking, he lets go of the STF, rolls into the middle of the ring, and like Rollins is almost out of the ring, and then Rollins is literally just like waiting there.
Yep.
For like ever for Cena to be like, oh shit, I better go grab him because he's not supposed to win yet. I thought that was weird, but I'm just picking apart this match little by little. That maneuver that you mentioned in the corner where he rolls out and reverses that kind of powerbomb type thing with Cena, that was amazing to me too. That was definitely one of my favorite parts of that match. You know, when I saw him, I'm like, I thought he was kind of screwing up. I'm like, what the hell is he doing? And then when he did it, I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, that was pretty cool. And the fact that, you know, it shows his strength. You don't have to be big to be strong. For him to pick up Cena like that and run with him, that's not easy. So this guy is powerful. He's wickedly strong. But all in all, Seth Rollins really impressed me. The ending, I kind of figured was going to happen. Kind of wish, you know what I think should have happened is the door should have been locked, and they should have had Brock Lesnar come out and break the door open, like rip the door off the hinges.
That to you during this show.
Oh, did you? Oh, I don't. Yeah, I'm sure you did.
I mentioned it to you on Facebook that you should have had Brock come out and just rip the fucking door off the cage. That would have been so much better.
It would have really built him as, you know, this powerful. I do like the way that when he first came out with Jericho, the way that he was being sold by the commentators, like as he's walking past, they now say, "Well, oh my God, will you look at the size of him?" You know, obviously he's big, but they were really pushing that he's this big monster. Jericho did an awesome job putting him over. The F5 to Cena, of course, always awesome. The German suplexes, holy shit, that last German suplex, damn. I love when he does that, like when he's about to do it, but he picks him up and muscles him over to the corner and then throws him.
Yep.
Like he like picks him up, and I mean, that's just awesome. And then, you know, Seth Rollins, that got a huge pop, too. Seth Rollins shaking hands with Paul Heyman. That got a huge pop. So, I don't know. Does that mean Seth Rollins? I'll pose a question to you. Does that mean Seth Rollins is a Paul Heyman guy? What do you think that means? Do you think that, because he is still the Money in the Bank briefcase holder, and he could feasibly maybe have a deal that I won't cash in on Brock, you know, as long as he's holding the title. I don't know. I'm curious as to what do you think that means? I know this is your show, but I'm sick of you posting questions to me. I'm going to throw it back at you.
I welcome it. I welcome it, whether it's from you or the rope breakers. I want questions. I like questions. I hope not. It's nothing against Rollins. It's nothing against Heyman. But as we've seen in the past, guys who have gone with Heyman while he's still attached to Brock Lesnar never work out. They never take off. Ryback, Curtis Axel, Cesaro, for some reason, these guys can't take off. Maybe it might work with Brown because he is a big enough heel, but he doesn't need Heyman to be a mouthpiece. And I think that's where, you know, maybe these last guys faltered because they weren't really heels, they weren't really faces, but because they went with Heyman, they became heels, and then it just didn't work out for them. Heyman cut all the promos, so maybe if we do see him align himself with Heyman, you know, in the future for whatever reason, you know, we see Heyman as more of a guy who advocates for him, gets him matches, things like that, but he doesn't cut the promos for him unless Rollins is not there. I think that would be a better way to do things. And it's interesting now because, you know, maybe they have struck some kind of deal like, you know, like you said, I won't go after Brock while he's holding the title, you know, as long as you take out Cena tonight so I can get my revenge. Very interesting. We'll probably get some more answers to that definitely next week. But, yeah, I'm interested to see what happens now with Rollins because the authority's not there. Paul Heyman's the next best thing. So, very interesting, and I'm looking forward to getting those answers.
Yeah, definitely. Me too. And I definitely hear where you're coming from. Although I do think that Seth Rollins being a Paul Heyman guy may actually not be a terrible idea. I definitely hear
that.
I hear where you're coming from with a lot of the guys who have been with him have really fallen because he's put so much attention into Brock and really kind of neglected, not really his fault, but kind of neglected the other guys. But I think Rollins has the ability to stand on his own, so he really doesn't need Paul Heyman. So I think that in and of itself will make it work better than the other three. The other three needed a lot of work. They needed a mouthpiece, and you know, for a guy like Curtis Axel, unfortunately he was saddled with Ryback at the same time with Heyman, so Heyman had to advocate for both of those guys. Cesaro got screwed over because he just jumped on with Paul Heyman after Lesnar beats the streak. So of course Heyman's going to sell the shit out of that, really overshadowing Cesaro. But I think because Rollins can talk on the mic really well, he can hold his own in the ring. I think him being a Paul Heyman guy, I think he needs to find that group. I think it would actually work out really well. I think that'd be a good idea because he needs that. I think it'd be good for him. The whole purpose, he's trying to find that group, to kind of get back to where he was. Right now, he's kind of alone. He's by himself. The Authority's gone. He's got nobody else around him. He's trying to find somebody, and Paul Heyman, like you said, is the next best thing after the Authority. So I think maybe Paul Heyman guy, maybe they're working together. Maybe Paul Heyman promises him a title match against Brock Lesnar in favor of giving Brock Lesnar his briefcase. That could be interesting.
That is a interesting theory there. Maybe it could happen. We got a lot of rope breakers weighing in while we're talking here. And Austin Brand saying to you, Matt, except for your one disconnection, I am very impressed with your connection today, Matt. Just thought I should put that out there. Ryan Burla weighing in, they should have had Rollins pin Cena and not walk out of the cage. Again, they did it to make Rollins, look strong, but, not make Cena look weak, to still give Rollins the win, basically. You don't want Cena looking weak going into face Brock Lesnar because, it wouldn't look good. Mr. Racer 1029, hi, I'm new to the show. Mr. Racer, welcome to the show. Unfortunately, we're almost over here, but I'm glad you did tune in, and you can catch us on this show, hopefully next week at our normal time of 11 p.m. Eastern, immediately following Raw. And he did ask when is Randy Orton returning. The rumor is the last Raw of the year, and he did ask, is Paul Heyman forming another stable? I don't know. I don't think there's enough guys to really form a decent stable there. And then mentioning, guys pairing off with Heyman, saying CM Punk took off sort of. CM Punk was already really established before he teamed up with Heyman, so I do understand it, but CM Punk was already pretty big and pretty over with the crowd when he joined forces with Heyman. But Rope Breakers, that brings us to the end of our live review here for our live reaction. We did go into overtime, but that's all right because we do this for you guys. This Rope Break Wrestling is for the fans, by the fans. We got a lot of you did tune in tonight while we're watching, so I do appreciate that as always. And now it's everybody's favorite part of the show, the final thoughts and the letter grade for Monday Night Raw. So Matt, you have the floor.
Woo! This is my favorite part of the entire show. Oh boy, it's tough because I kind of want to grade it like I obviously I gave TLC last night a C+, but you really can't grade it the same way. So a C+ tonight isn't the same as a C+ for TLC because it's a pay-per-view. It's held at a higher regard. Right. Or no, I gave it a C last night. That's right. I was originally going to give it a C+, but I demoted it to a C. So if I give Raw a C, it's not the same. I think I'll go and give this Raw a C+. I think from start to finish, it was definitely not a bad Raw. I didn't think it was a great Raw. I thought, like you said, the main event definitely saved it because there were a lot of filler matches jumbled together. I liked the opening segment. I thought that really played well into. I like when there's a beginning, a middle, and an end that all connect. They all coincide together. They work together, and I think that really helps with the show. Having the Jericho segment, Paul Heyman trying to write him a check, and then saying, "I don't want your $200." Really connecting with the beginning of the show. I thought that was really well done, and then obviously it bleeding into the main event. When they do things like that continuity, it really helps me enjoy the show a little bit more. So I don't think it was a great Raw overall, but I do think it was decent. It was bearable. So, like I said, I'm gonna have to give it a C plus. Um, but it really wasn't. Uh, I don't think I would recommend it to my friends.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. We tend to throw that in there every now and then here on React. That sometimes you see an episode of Raw and you don't want to introduce it to a new a new watcher. Or if somebody's flipping through the channels and they see it, is it going to be a show that's suitable for a new viewer to tune in and try and like the product? So I definitely agree with you there. And Mr. Racer weighing in again, saying Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar is a dream match for me. I agree. I would love to see that match. I don't know why WWE hasn't done it. I think it would be a phenomenal match, especially with both of those guys' athleticism in the ring. So I think that was a missed opportunity for WWE, especially if Brock does decide to take off and sign back with the UFC after WrestleMania. But overall, this wasn't a terrible Raw, but like you mentioned, there was good continuity. There was a beginning, there was a middle, there was an end. Brock Lesnar did return. Roman Reigns made his Raw return. I did like the highlight reel. Overall, it was good. It wasn't the greatest Raw we've seen, but I can't say they're heading in the right direction because I know John Cena had a meeting backstage today with the talent only. He called them into a meeting and said, look, you know, because the rumor is that, they had a silent protest basically of trying to get Triple H to, they want Triple H to take over on the main roster because of the success he's had with NXT. And, the rumor is that some of the guys were just mailing it in last night at TLC because they knew it just wasn't going to be a good show. So, I think the big question is, did the talent really start to step it up tonight to make this a good show, to make this something viable to watch again, to start to outdo NXT? I think that's the big question looming overhead and in the coming weeks as well. But overall, I'm going to have to give this Raw a B minus. It wasn't entirely bad. I didn't look away a lot. I know some Raws I tend to just, kind of zone out, don't really care to watch them because they're just not good. So, this was an okay Raw. I was entertained for the most part, but it wasn't great. So I'll give it a B minus, and I'll pose the same question to the rope breakers. What was your letter grade for Raw? What do you think? Uh, what do you think about tonight's Raw, and what is your letter grade for it? We're done with that portion of the show. The React portion is over. We are well into overtime here. We're an hour and 5 minutes in, hour and 4 minutes in, but we're slowly coming to a close here, and it is time for the plugs. We do these every single week, guys. You know what we got to do? We got to get the brand out there. We got to get you guys to follow our stuff, subscribe to our stuff. That's what we got to do. We got to get the name out there. We got to get the revolution out there that is Rope Break Wrestling. All right, guys, here it is. Facebook.com/Rope Break Wrestling, where you can find us on our Facebook page. That's where you can see us live tweet during Monday Night Raw, give you the news about what's going on in Rope Break, and you can see all of our latest articles posted on there. And, of course, you can always go to ropebreakwrestling.com, and that's where you can actually see the articles as well. Make sure you bookmark that bitch so you never have to go to another shitty wrestling site again. You skip all the bullshit. That's all you got to do is go to ropebreakwrestling.com because we do give you the biggest news and rumors that do come out. And then, of course, you can hit us up on Twitter at twitter.com/ropebreakwrestling. Of course, you can also subscribe to this YouTube page right now. Like, share, subscribe to any of these videos on here, especially this one. Look at how you can connect with us, guys. There's so many places that we're available. So do what you have to do. And, of course, I do have to mention one more thing, and that is the Golden Ropes. That's right, the Golden Ropes. For those of you that don't know what that is, for those of you who haven't seen it on our Facebook, who have not tuned in here yet to react or seen it on our Facebook or here on our YouTube page, the Golden Ropes is a yearly, it's an annual fan-voted awards show by you guys, and you pick who we have a lot of categories, nominees. You guys can vote on those nominees and pick who you want to win. And to do that, the link is in the description for the voting. plenty of great awards: Superstar of the Year, Diva of the Year, Holy Shit Moment of the Year, Biggest Burial, Garbage Gimmick, Rookie of the Year, NXT Superstar of the Year, Return of the Year. So many categories that you guys can choose from. The Slammies are a thing of the past. The Golden Ropes are the future, so you guys need to buy in to the Golden Ropes. But of course, the biggest award on the Golden Ropes is the Rope Break Wrestling Podcast of the Year. There's a war going on right now. It's blowing up here on Rope Break. We all want to win. But of course, the only show you really need to vote for is React After Raw. And of course, if you want to, you can vote for Before the Bell and the Sharpshoot, which does lead me to my next point, our shows. We got 3 shows for you guys. And of course, we have the pay-per-view show once a month. We have React After Raw, which is live every single Monday night, immediately following Monday Night Raw. If YouTube allows us. Tonight, had some maintenance, but hopefully we'll be back in the normal time slot next Monday. Of course, that's followed by Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. The Sharpshoot with Aussie. It's a great show. It's one of the best damn shows on YouTube. A lot of you guys tune in. If you haven't tuned in yet, if you haven't seen the show yet, once you're done here, head over to our page. There's plenty of episodes. Go watch it. Go watch the show. Be impressed. Listen to what Aussie has to say. I've been on the show. Matt's been on the show. It's a great show. Go watch it. And then, of course, on Fridays, the biggest show of them all. I'm just trying to give you a little credit there, just trying to help
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
But the man on this panel, Matt Donato. It is a great show. It's Fridays at noon-ish, give or take. You never know when Matt's going to post it, but it is a great show. It does not get the recognition it deserves from the Rope Breakers, so you guys need to go and listen to that show, especially after this. Go ahead. There's plenty of great episodes on there. Matt talks about all the big stuff going on in WWE and really gives his unique take on WWE. He is a traditionalist. He has a really good opinion, really good views on this stuff. So go listen to this show. It's not like this. It's not a video. It's a podcast. You can go listen to it, put your headphones on, and just, do what you were doing. That's all you have to do for that show. And Matt is trying to get away so you guys can download it, put it on your iPod, your iTouch, your mobile phones, whatever it is, so you guys can have it on the go and always listen to it without having to go to YouTube for it. That's all we got for you for our shows, guys. But there is another big piece here. We do this every single week on React. You guys need to know. If you got friends out there, you got to tell them, right, Matt? You got to tell them about Rope Break.
Oh, I got to tell them. It's becoming a religious experience. This is something that I just have to say. It's impulsive now. It's an impulse. I have a bit of a problem. I start twitching if I don't get it out at least once or twice a week. But what I'm getting to, and for those of you who are regulars here and know what's coming, then just sit back. But for those of you who are new and don't know what I'm getting at, just wait and buckle up. What I'm about to say is, I'm not even going to plug it anymore. Here we go. If you're a rope breaker and you're not telling your friends about us, then listen, you're not just being a terrible rope breaker. That's obvious. But you're being a bad friend. You're being neglectful. Come on, you got to bring them on over to the Rope Break Lifestyle, because they're over there. They're digging through the crappy dirt sheets. They're sitting in the bleachers. They can barely see what's going on in those bleachers. They're in the nosebleeds. It's terrible. And you're allowing them to do that? That's not fair. That's not right. So bring them on over to Rope Break. Let them live the Rope Break Lifestyle, because to be quite honest with you, if you're not living the Rope Break Lifestyle, you're not really living. And I know what you're thinking. Listen, I know that I co-own this website. I know I run this. I'm trying to promote this. I'm saying whatever I have to get. No, I believe in this brand. I live by this brand, for the fans, by the fans. Always. That's truly what I believe. So at the end of the day, no, it's not me being biased, and Alec can attest to this. It's not me being biased. It's simply a fact of life. So do yourself a favor and get out of the bleachers, because there's no better place to be than inside the ring with Rope Break.
There you go, guys. Matt said it himself. Tell your friends about Rope Break Wrestling. The biggest weapon you have is word of mouth. And as he said, get out of the bleachers and get in the ring with Rope Break Wrestling. That's it, guys. That is our show. Don't forget to head over to our website and vote on the Golden Ropes. The Golden Ropes will air Sunday, December 21st at 7 p.m. right here on our YouTube page. You can check it out. The show is sponsored by ProWrestlingTees.com. They have plenty of great merchandise, official merchandise from guys like Razor Ramon, Macho Man, Stone Cold. There's plenty of great stuff over there. CM Punk opened a store on there now. We hope to get one over there soon for you guys so you can buy React merchandise, Sharpshoot merchandise, Before the Bell, Rope Break merchandise. Just go over there, check those guys out. And the Golden Ropes, we have plenty of great guests. We've got Matthew Gregg, the Botchamania guy. We got Joe Cronin from the Joe Cronin Show, Justin LeBar, Jason Solomon, and Steve Ozzy, the RKO out of nowhere guy. There's so many great guests, so definitely check that out. Sunday, December 21st at 7 p.m. right here on Rope Break Wrestling's YouTube channel. That's it. I'm done talking. I'm done here. That's it. It's time to go. We got to get off. We've been to overtime. We're almost an hour and 15 minutes in here. I said it's 45 minutes. For some reason, we always go over, but whatever. We're done here.
You pulled a Matt Donato.
I pulled a Matt Donato. I pulled it before the bell. He says he's going to get you guys out of that 45 minutes, and he never does. I never do either, I guess. But it's been a great show. I want to thank all you guys for tuning in. Thanks to the new viewers for tuning in and watching along here with us so late at night. We love doing this for you guys. This has been React After Raw. I'm your host, Alec. That's Matt Donato. That's it, guys. You're out of here. Good night.